everyone, welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. And we last left off, we were doing the Final Day Trial Latter number 1. And now we are doing Final Day Trial Latter number 2. This is the first one that we've had a two-part, second-part ladder trial. But last time, Damon Gaunt came on the stand and we were questioning him about the case. And we did figure out that he had something to do with it, but we have no hard evidence on him. And since he's chief of police, he can just choose not to testify for some reason that doesn't seem right. But he chose, after a while, to just quit testifying and just leave. So, since we have no hard evidence, it still goes on Lana. But we're going to call Lana on the stage now to see if we can get her to say anything. Because we know that Chief Gaunt is blackmailing her. But we have to get her to admit to it. So, let's go ahead and continue on with Episode 5, Rise from the Ashes, Final Day Trial, Latter 2. February 25th, 2:21 p.m., District Court, Room number 9. Now then, will the defendant, Miss Lana Skye, please take the stand? For the final time, hopefully. Miss Lana Skye, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you. She should. But Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done these past 2 years. Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Skye. And remember, you are under oath. We have to hear the truth. Of course, the truth. Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister. Now then, your testimony, if you will. First, tell us about your relationship with Chief Gaunt. Everything hinges on your testimony. Come on. Come on! We can help you if you help us, okay? That's all we need. So, your only chance. We have to get Gaunt. Gaunt and the fabrication. I worked alongside Gaunt for years. There's no truth in this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. I had nothing to do with Emma. It had nothing to do with Emma. Okay. Are you sure about this testimony? Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense, and of course I'm sure. But Lana, oh, come on. If this is true, then that means Chief Gaunt had nothing to do with this. Come on. That's what I've been telling you from the beginning. Please, Mr. Wright, you've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me. But what if she's telling this? Phoenix, you don't believe that. Come on, you don't believe a word of that. She's not. I know my sister. However, she speaks stiffly like that. She's hiding something inside. Deep down, she's really screaming in agony. The defense may now begin its cross-examination. I worked alongside Gaunt for years. Okay, would you like to like elaborate on that? How many years? Ever since I made senior detective. I was 24 then, so it should be 5 years. I personally saw them testify in numerous cases, yes. Damon Gaunt was a respectable detective. That's why it was a respectable. There's no truth. But think about it, Miss Skye. You didn't murder Detective Goodman. You told me as much yesterday in jail. You still don't get it, do you, Mr. Wright? Any testimony you cannot present in court is useless as idle gossip. I stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife. Why are you turning around? Are your eyes lying? Ugh. And I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. Did you do so to help your sister? Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life. But what she did was justifiable self-defense. Exactly. She wouldn't have charged with anything. That's not the point. She was traumatized that day, all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him. So that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. Okay. How do you rearrange it? Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene? It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. It seems. The broken prosecutor's award knife was stuck in the victim's body. What? But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident. That's the only situation you dream was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change his statement. You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark? Something like that. Why does she have to be like that? If that's so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife. Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle. That's not how it went down. All just to protect me. Oh, Emma. So when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to. I broke off the tip of Dark's knife, planted it inside the wound, then moved the body. You planted the tip of Dark's knife in the victim's wound, and then you moved the body. But why? Why would you do that? Exactly. You of all people should know, Edgeworth. I've always been good at head on your shoulders. Why did you plant the knife? Exactly. Come now, Mr. Wright. Even you should be able to figure it out. The reason? Yes, tell me the reason. I knew the tip of the weapon found buried in this body would be all the proof we needed. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma. Yeah, there's no way she could have done this alone. Okay, I didn't ask anything about this. So we need to press on this too. According to your testimony, Prosecutor Marshall's broken knife was a murder weapon, right? Yes, leaving it at that might have pointed the blame away from Dark. Felt the most effective way to get him convicted would be to have the tip of his knife found inside the victim's body. You buried it inside the victim's stab wound, yes, because I hated Dark for what he did. Only motivation, yes. So you rearranged the crime scene. Are you sure you didn't do this to keep Emma from looking like the murderer? How many times do I have to tell you, Mr. Wright? Emma didn't do it. Period. She's lying. She did it so I wouldn't be blamed. In any case, as a prosecutor, what I've done is unpardonable. There's nothing I can do to make up for my actions. Okay. Why did you move the body this time? When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body? It was where you deduced. It was by Chief Gaunt's desk. But the body was found by your desk. The reason for that is simple. Okay, tell us. Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. Pieces of the jar that were shattered during my events threatened my plan. Press on that. Yes, that was the wretched jar you showed us earlier. In order to show that Dark committed the crime, I felt it would have been more to move the body. Okay. When you first found the body, the jar was already... Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. Okay. Neil Marshall was dead and Dark was laying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during their struggle. What's the matter, Emma? Apparently the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed, but I have a feeling there are more to it than that. Okay, let's go back around. And whenever she talks about the jar, let's show the jar. Okay, let's present the jar. Let's see. Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. I really do. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister. If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I am compelled to bring to everyone's attention a significant contradiction within your testimony. You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan." It's simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood. This is where the contradiction lies. Do you mean that he couldn't have wrote on it if it wasn't already broke? In order for the victim to be able to write this message in a jar, it must have not have been broken before he died. Yeah, okay, there we go. He couldn't have written Emma's name on the shattered jar. Exactly, so he had to do it before he died. Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're as in the dark as we are about the truth toward which we're heading. Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth. Very well, the witness may now continue her testimony. Oh, okay, jar and the message in blood. Okay, so now she's going to talk about just the jar. I immediately noticed a blood trace on the jar. Did you really? But it was dark in the room, but I couldn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm glad I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered. Was that all you were thinking of? You mean you're the one who wiped away the message in blood? I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time. What does that have to do with anything? Okay, if you weren't chief prosecutor, I mean, still you changed evidence. Fabricated. She didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence. Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination. Okay, let's press on these. Okay, you notice the blood trace in the jar. So the jar was already broken? It's a miracle that thing hadn't broken earlier. Okay, you were an ace detective who never missed a detail. Do you really expect us to believe that? You didn't investigate what was written on the jar? Normally I would have. But it was dark in the room and okay. So you didn't know your sister's name was written on the jar? No. If I had known, I would have gathered all the pieces and ground them into dust. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Lana, you do that for me? Wow, she'd fabricate evidence for you. She already has. It seems you two might make up yet. I just barely had enough time to move the body. If someone happened upon the scene, you'd lose your chance to erase the evidence. You must have been in a hurry. I knew I had to destroy the evidence before anyone came. This is rather shocking. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. Not all of it, though. What do you mean? If you really thought Dark killed Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have wiped away the blood. That's true. What else could I have done in that situation? I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces. How could you see with the power out? Oh, that's true, okay. She said that they're all in large pieces or whatever, and she's glad she got them all, but if it's dark, how did she know? A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now, I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me. But if you had a light, then why couldn't you see what the blood said? Even I carry a bottle of emergency liminal. I never missed anything. I got every last piece. Okay, all I could think about is wiping them clean. So you illegally rearranged the crime scene. Yes, I don't have any excuse for my actions. I've treated you so badly all this time. Okay. after we got to the bottom of this incident. No doubt this day will leave a permanent stain on the history of the prosecutor's office. More contradictions have surfaced in her testimony. Your sister is really putting up a fight. She must really care about you. Still, she's not doing this the right way. There's one final possibility that might turn everything around. Okay, so now we have to find something to present on here. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's present the jar again, because we're talking about the jar this whole time. This guy believed this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of. I found a final piece of this jar in Chief Gaunt's safe. In the chief's safe? But how? Maybe he got there before you and took the piece. I knew it. She really didn't know. There was still blood on it, but the witness just testified. She gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off of them. Okay, how did she know she got every piece? Okay, she got every piece she saw. Yes, which leaves us to only the one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Gaunt got there before you. Yeah! Go, Phoenix. But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece? She did say she had a light. I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces were too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even once I wasted an entire day. Looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. That's kind of sad, Judge. Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken. There's no way a name could have been written on the shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness. I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Gaunt at the time he was looking. For Dark Down... Oh. The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide the fact for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer that? No, and I think the only person that could answer that is probably Gaunt, but he's not going to come here. No! I know Gaunt is your buddy, Judge, but come on. Wait. I'm not the one on trial here. You're correct. You're the judge. David Gaunt arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar. And purposely hid one of the broken pieces. The question, what is this action called? Fabricating evidence. But why would Chief Gaunt do that? In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear? Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gaunt's aid. Lending her his aid, Gaunt helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma. And therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Skye has become the chief's puppet. Oh! Don't bite your thumb like that, please. No, I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Rice says. Defense attorneys make up the most foulest lies to defend their clients. Foulest lies? Wow, it sounds like you're a prosecutor. I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth. What? What if? We're still smack dab in the middle of Gaunt's trap. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Lana, maybe right after all. What do you mean, Mr. Wright? So you do tell the foulest lies then, Mr. Wright? Not about that. This guy, please testify once more. But if evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie. But I do remember knocking over Marshall. Are you sure? Miss Guy, if you will. I can't. There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will, and if you tell the truth, very well. If I'll testify, but what I really saw. Alright. The witness may testify once more for the final time. Are you sure this is going to be the final time? I have a feeling there's going to be another one. Okay, so the actual crime scene. When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on the suit of armor's sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gaunt help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was fabrication, Emma might be innocent. Maybe! Unbelievable. The body was impaled on the armor sword, like I initially thought. Yes. You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof. Actually, I do have proof. Well, you do? I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning. It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed. I don't remember receiving a picture like that. Wait, is it the book? It's in the book, isn't it? Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright, she really does have faith in you. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture. Lana said she gave it to you this morning, right? She only gave us the book. Okay. It's gotta be in the book. Okay. There it is! Sneaky, sneaky girl. Hey, there's a picture here. Oh, it's Marshall dead. But, oh my. This is the actual crime scene. No other detective saw the crime scene like this. Because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I arranged everything. Mr. Wright, that piece cut from his vest, could that be? Yes, I think it is. Cloth we found inside of Chief Gaunt's safe. The handprint. This is a handprint, isn't it? That cloth, it had fingerprints on it. Whose fingerprints were they? But those fingerprints, they're yours, Emma. Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright? Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer. Okay, let's try this. Very well, defense may now begin its cross-examination. Okay, when I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on the suit of armor. Hold it. What? Who said hold it? Gaunt's back? No, he said he wasn't going to testify. Come now, Udgy. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen. What now? You want to make me out to be the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense. No, you gave it your chance. I'm afraid it's too late for that. What? You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort. Just sit back and relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your neck. See? Oh! I love that. Ah, so what? I think I'm worried. You think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements. What do you mean? The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence. Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence? Oh, no, I don't. But someone does. Someone. So, what's your excuse, Righto? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death? Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt? Is that true, Mr. Wright? Maybe? If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer. Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now, and if you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries. What do I do now? Should I present that piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed... I don't know. Okay, cannot show evidence. We can't. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence. I can't present at this time. What? You lie! You call me a liar? Chief Gaunt? You opened my safe. I know you took what was inside. The collusive evidence. Wait, he was hiding it. It was inside his safe. He admitted it. I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Wright. Why don't you show them? Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you won't present it. What are you talking about, Chief Gaunt? Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area? It looks like a part of it's been cut for some reason. You mean you had this in your safe? What? That means you, the chief of police, have been concealing evidence. Oh no! This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department. I think Gaunt's just hurting himself. Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Righto. Well, I can just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened. What? You mean you admit to it? No. He already gave up his chance to testify. He can't. I was the first person to arrive on the scene that day. It was then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana. So you really were the manipulating her? I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay on her sister, that's when she saw the scene. She would ask for my aid. So you assisted Miss Skye? I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room. And I ended up using the evidence to get Joe Dark convicted. When I tampered with the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. That was before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you. You mean those items in your safe? But why? For insurance, of course. Okay. I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for the murder that girl committed. You were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence? Gaunt, jeez. What do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? I hid the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood from off all the pieces. But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar too? Exactly! And then also put a handprint on the vest? Ho ho ho! Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more piece of item for an insurance. You mean that piece of cloth? Come, Righto, cough it up already. I know you have it. What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright? So you admit to it then, Mr. Chief Gaunt, that you were hiding the cloth you cut off the victim's vest in your safe? Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do it, being chief and all. But it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago, you said you didn't have any evidence you could present. Foolish move, Righto. You should have shown it then before it was too late. It's been a long battle. But the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine. Can we show it this time? Okay, we probably have to show it. Your Honor, I do have a piece of evidence to show. Alright then, let's see your conclusive evidence. Okay, so now we'll bring up the cloth. There it is. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest. Oh yes, at last you finally brought it out into the open. There's a handprint on this piece of cloth. Your Honor, the prosecution requested that we immediately sent to the lab for analysis. The handprint on the leather must have been a strong impact for it to left so clearly. You mean It could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence. Are you sure about that? It might not be. Ho ho ho. You're as slow on the uptake as ever, Worthy. What? Think about it. Wright had all the time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be? You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints were on this? Mr. Wright, do you really know? Yeah, whoever's fingerprints belong must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they? Very well. I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything is proceeding as predicted. Have you been thinking so far ahead, right? Okay, it's Emma. Emma? Emma Sky? What? They're mine? I'm sorry, Emma. Why didn't you tell me? Oh, ho, ho, ho. You're really something, Rhino. You knew this girl did it all along, and still tried to pin the murder on me. So it's true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death. How could you? You monster! Oh, gosh. Miss Sky, you knew those fingerprints were hers all along, yet you acted like you really didn't. Miss Sky, it's not over yet. I said this trial isn't over yet. But I'm afraid it's over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career, too. No, 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 no. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, boy. What's the matter? Cat out your tongue. Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer. Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up. Oh? And what's that? Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall? What? Chief Gaunt, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask? It was Emma Sky, wasn't it? Nope. I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction. What? A contradiction? Oh, do you don't like that, Gaunt? What is this fool babbling about? I'm talking about a contradiction. One that proves who the real killer is. Mr. Wright, the piece of cloth. What could it possibly contradict? Chief Gaunt, your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold! Oh, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. Okay, so the picture? And what exactly is this supposed to be? This is the picture Miss Sky took. Take a good look at it. See where the piece of his vest was cut out? His shirt is showing underneath, yeah. It's hard to make out with all the blood. Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. Wait, there's no blood on this! His lungs, no doubt, were punctured. Blood pouring out his mouth. But that piece of cloth. Exactly, no blood. It'd be hard to get blood out of leather. Ah! Since Emma's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at that time. Now then, Chief Gaunt, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled where he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could have it been? Who could it have been? No, I don't know. Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Lana Sky? Picked up the unconscious prosecutor and impaled him on the armorer's sword. A big man would have to be. Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. A jar that they then broke on purpose to leave behind a clue. And make Lana believe her sister did it. Remember what you admitted only moments ago. That you purposely cut out this bloodless piece of victim's vest. Ironic, isn't it? Though the very act of creating insurance. You prove that you were the actual murderer. Ha 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 ha. No! Oh, he's going all glitchy. It's finally over. Finally? Objection? Wait, who objected? Oh, Gaunt! Oh, what? Gaunt looks scared. Fearful. Ho ho ho! That was close, Rhino. You almost had me. Oh, what do you mean? Sorry. But you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations. What do you mean, refute? You see, the piece of cloth is illegal evidence. But you asked for it. Order, order. What nonsense is this? Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Udgi. Earlier, old Rhino here concealed the piece of cloth. So then, what's your excuse, Rhino? Okay. Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present the evidence. At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence. That's not fair! Ho ho ho! Did you actually think you could best me in court? It looks like the last laughs on you, son. Wait, the book. It's gotta be the book, right? I'm afraid Mr. Gaunt's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Wright? Or Mr. Edgeworth. True legal evidence cannot be used to convict a person, assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal. It seems at last. The time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived. What kind of plan did you have? Do you admit it, Mr. Wright? That you purposely and illegally concealed this evidence of cloth? I did not. Of course I wouldn't. Ah, so the evidence is illegal. No, no it is not, sir. Huh? It's not that I didn't present the evidence. It's that I couldn't. What do you mean couldn't? There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence. No, Uchi, don't listen to his lies. Don't do it. He's nothing but a coward. You can't really. There's only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not? Very well, let's settle this once for all. Earlier, you refused to present the evidence. If you can prove your contradiction was not in violation of the law, then do so now. I think it's time to bring out the evidence law book with the little chick. This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law. What's this? I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth and nothing more. You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Okay. I found this piece of evidence myself inside your safe. It goes without saying I did not have approval from the police department. Rule 2, unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And here is the crux of the matter. You see, at the time, it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SL9 incident. What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take a look at all the picture and... Sorry, but can you recall when was the picture presented? That was shown only a few moments ago. He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gaunt. You yourself confessed to the certain truth. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut this from the vest. Yes. No. It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth. Ha 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 ha! The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer. And there's only one person who could it be. Damon Gaunt. The killer was you. Is he gonna go glitchy again? Whoa, he's going crazy. Oh gosh, he's moving too fast. Oh, whew. Gaunt. I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum. For 2 years he's been snooping around the department, trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me. Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty, it was murder, yeah. He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Starr, then convinced Bruce Goodman. Detective Goodman. Yeah, that's right. If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance of finding out the truth. Please, you've got to help me. Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit. He stole Goodman's card and tried to get the evidence. Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then all of a sudden he decided to speak out. Oh. What are you talking about, Goodman? Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered. He opened his evidence locker, and as he was taking the evidence out, he said, "It's not too late. I'm going to hand all this over to Marshall." Well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up the SL9. That's when I saw it, the accursed knife. I couldn't just pull it out. Doing so would have only led to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime. Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worried so much about the floor I didn't realize my fatal mistake. The bloody handprint, exactly, on Detective Gumshoe's locker. I used to be known as the crime computer, but everyone started somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it. Then you put the body in my car. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will. He does have a nice car. Leaving the prosecution's car aside, how? How could you get Miss Skye involved in all this? Well, she had so much to lose, as I did, and the truth came out. So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker? I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have time to pick and choose what to take. So, you left the jar fragments in the glove. Yeah. Looks like I was better off being the investigator of the crime than a committer. They all did their best to get my way. I gotta hand it to them. They did their jobs well, much to my dismay. Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that. Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court? Me? You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. Don't pull that. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone. God. Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Udgy. What? Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend. I'm sorry too, Damon Gaunt. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You were once a fine investigator, an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person. Those days are gone now, Udgy. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Wright here. And Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The sounds of a new beginning. A new beginning. Wonderful. There are two things I want you to understand. Yes? First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gaunt betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Sky? You no longer have any reason to keep silent. You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years, from the time I had Gaunt help me forge evidence up until today. So, seems all questions raised in this trial have been answered. I'm sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all your trouble. My. What high standards you have for a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows? A few years from now, you just might make it to the top. The smile! I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. Miss Sky, and to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few years. Believe me, I know how much an ordeal it's been for you. It was nothing. It was nothing. Yes. I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth. Stop it! I only did my job. In light of this case, it seems a good self-examining is in order for all of us. Miss Sky? Yes, Your Honor. You're innocent of murder. However, yeah, you still fabricated evidence. Although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is still you acted as his accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date. Yes, I understand, Your Honor. Is there anything amusing of all this? Why are you smiling? It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains. That's good. That's good for her. Even though she still is going to go on trial again. Well, this trial has gone on far too long already. You're exactly right, Judge. Regarding the charge, this court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, not guilty. And that took forever. But we finally got the... We finally saved her. This is all. This court is adjourned. At long last, it's finally over. Emma? Why long face? I'm sorry your sister didn't completely off the hook, but at least she wasn't convicted for murder she didn't commit. It's not that, just now after the trial ended. I can see why Miss Mia Fey thought so highly of you. And to you too, Edgeworth. Okay, I don't know why she's making us see that again. You know, I did my best too. But Lana didn't say a single word. Oh, I understand now. Okay. You did good. You did good, Emma. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Gumshoe, you always have the worst timing. Oh, I guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? Yep, I knew he was going to get mad. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run all around while on duty. And on top of it all, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding. Oh, are you here because of my sister again? Nope. Not this time. I came today because of you, pal. That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone. There! Lana! She'd be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know. Well, I won't tell if you won't. Good old Gumshoe. Emma, I owe you an apology. It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it. That day, 2 years ago, was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in the mess. Sis. I asked God to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake. But now, I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself. But I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared how'd you react if you knew. But sis, you were only doing it for me. No, I turned my back on you that day. In hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you. I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry. You don't have to apologize, sis. I'm happy now. Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have. Oh, Emma. You're such good sisters. Oh! That's beautiful. Okay, this is worth it. No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you may ask? Because in doing so, we can find the way back to our rightful path. And it is from there that we can move on toward a brighter future. At least, that's what I felt watching the two sisters make up. Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe, thank you both for all you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth? Stop hiding over there. Edgeworth, come on. Don't have that scowl on your face. Where was he hiding? I just came to say congratulations. Thank you. Right. Well, I'll be going. Whoa, he's not going to run away that easily. Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the only ones who acted corruptly, not you. It's too late for me. No matter what anyone may say, I realize today I can't correct my mistakes. All Edgeworth. Not only that, but I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gaunt was right. You despise criminals, I can feel it. You and me were the same. Oh, don't take it to heart. Come on, don't trust him. I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I needed a weapon. It's scary, but I've known that to be true for quite some time now. But Edgeworth. Who knows? Given enough time, I might even try to pull something like Chief Gaunt did. Oh, don't say that. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor. Edgeworth, don't you understand? Damon Gaunt and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime, but they both made the same mistake. You said in order to fight crime, you need a weapon. That may be true, but think back to the Tata's trial. You weren't alone. You were working together with Mr. Wright. Because of that partnership. You were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright? Come on, Mr. Wright. Show him what Lana's talking about. Evidence. The evidence list. Where was it at? Next page. There. Us working together because he had half and we had half. That's gotta be it. That's the picture I drew. Our counterattack began with this. You had one half, and I had the other. Apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture. That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth. It's time for me to go. Mr. Edgeworth. If you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends that need wrapped up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor. Edgeworth, what will you do now? He keeps trying to leave, but we keep calling him back. Well, whatever you do, just remember. You can let what happened kill the prosecutor and you, or you can help it grow you. I know it seems I owe you my thanks too, Mr. Wright. Oh, that look he is. For what I face now, is my problem. Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court. Farewell. I better be going too. It seems we both have a lot to learn, catching up to do. Here's this little something for you. Scientific investigation! It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well. Aww. And so another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Yeah, that picture's beautiful. Faith that their lives have only just begun. I want to see Emma as a scientific investigator. I really want to see that. And as for me, I think it's time to start my a new journey of my own. What type of new journey? I mean, you're still gonna be a defense attorney, right? A journey to rediscover myself. Well, don't go trekking off just yet, pal. What is it, detective, huh? They're just a little matter to resolve about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this. But I thought you said it was okay. Yeah, well, maybe okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story. Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her over here for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either. Way to go, detective. I didn't know you had a wild side. Well, yeah. You see, Mr. Wright there is the one who will be footing the bill. What? Gumshoe! I'm not made of money. Well, you think I could afford it with my salary? You gotta be kidding, pal. Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best. Why is it I suddenly feel like I want to scream? Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we all go pay it off together? That's a great idea. Come on, guys. Let's go. Objection! Oh, I arranged for my friend in Europe to take care of Emma. Hope she'll be pleased to study under the roof. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days at the prosecutor's office. Still, I'll manage to find my way back to the field somehow. Then, I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma. Oh, that's sweet. Oh, Gumshoe. Yikes, I thought I was a goner for a moment there. In the end, though, they overlooked my unauthorized investigation of the chief's office. If we penalize you anymore, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. It just goes to show you can't shake me off that easily. That's good that Gumshoe's going to continue to have a job as a detective. He does help us out. Now he does, at least. Oh, Meekins! My new mission is to guard the main entrance and take care of Billy. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to a security guard. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show them, though. Someday I'm going to make detective. Oh, Meekins, I hope not. Yes, sir. Then I can just be like Dick Gumshoe. What? He wants to be like Gumshoe? That's kind of scary. What's with this thing? The handprint's still on it. It's mocking me. It broke! Oh no! What is it? Can you see I'm having me a showdown with the steak lunch? Miss Star managed to sneak in one for me without seeing the guard seeing. Well, cowboy, it looks like you did it. You even gave Bambina back her smile. Can you make sure Billy and the gang get their water? Okay. Oh, Angel. Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while. Oh, as a farewell gift, I put a new meal on the menu, the right way at lunch. The top layer tastes as bitter as defeat, but the bottom layer as sweet as victory. Kids seem to dig the turnabout theme. It's a hot seller around exam time. Just make sure not to eat it backwards. Oh. Oh, and Judge! I'll never forget what the young defense lawyer said after the trial. Let's see, what was his name again? Mr. Left? No, it's Wright. Anyways, he said he'd be doing something or other for how many years? Well, anyways, I've got another trial to get to, so it better be... Huh? Oh no, I forgot my gavel. Sorry, gotta go. Jeez, he's very forgetful. Woo! Maya! Nothing soothes the soul like fresh country air. Still, something I do miss hearing is your objection. Still, I can't go back until I'm full-fledged spirit medium. Mystic Maya, afternoon training's about to begin. Coming, yes. Well, see you around, Nick. Aww. Ooh, Edgeworth. This is his office, right? Mr. Edgeworth? Wait. The bellboy. Mr. Edgeworth, I brought you your tea. What's going on? Did he leave a letter? That's not his resignation, is it? Better not be. Oh, and Emma, thanks for coming to see me off. I can't believe I'm going to Europe. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I'll be alright. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book. Oh wait, what's in the book? Okay, let's open it. Is there a picture inside? Oh, a letter. Oh, is that when she first became a detective? Oh, that's sweet. Very cute, very cute. Hey everyone, so that is all of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, the like first one. But later on, we will try, I guess, doing Justice for All, because we just got done with Ace Attorney. There's Justice for All. Then there's also Trials and Tribulations. So there's a few more Phoenix Wright games we have to play. But that is all of the like first Ace Attorney game. We got through all 5 episodes. That's all there is. Really, 5 was very, very good. Okay, I loved Damon Gaunt. Damon Gaunt is such a charismatic, kind of evil, bad guy, something like that. Plus, being the chief of police, he has so much power. So, charisma, power, being just smart, and just good bad guy. Really love that. Also, meeting Emma and Lana. I did like Emma being like a scientific investigator sort, because that's kind of stuff I'm interested in. So that was kind of like a stand-in almost for like me just like loving it. Like whenever she brought out the spray to show the blood luminol, then she did the fingerprint stuff. I remember doing that whenever I was younger. I had like a CSI kit I think I talked about. But yeah, that was very cool. I hope when we actually get to the other games, I hope some of the other characters come back, because like we have Maya, that's the spirit medium. She might show back up. We have Emma, possibly might see Lana or something like that. Edgeworth, I'm sure we'll see. Gumshoe, I'm sure we'll see. There's just a lot of characters I think that will show back up in the next games. I don't know how much though, because I'm sure there's going to be like a new cast, because of course we're going to have Phoenix Wright. I'm sure we're going to have another prosecutor we're going to go against. Maybe we might have Edgeworth, I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more characters that we're going to have to see. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, like, I guess, story, this gameplay, this playthrough of the first Ace Attorney game. Really hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing it. I had never played any of the Ace Attorney games before, and one of my friends was like, you know, that would be a good game that you could play. And I'm like, you know what? It's cheap on Steam. I can go ahead and buy it. And even if I don't like it, it's not a big a deal. But I did like it. It was nice. So yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. Next time we might go ahead and start up with the Justice for All. And start on it. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I will see you guys next time. So, bye-bye.